Hey, good afternoon, neighbor. I'm so glad you stopped back by. This afternoon, I'd like to talk about something that's important on a homestead. It's important in a home. But before I start the video, I'd like to welcome back all my subscribers. I appreciate you stopping by to watch all the videos and make the nice comments in the comment section below. If you're brand new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and hit the bell and make sure it's lit up so you don't miss any of the future videos that I will be putting out. So let's get right into this. Now, today I'm going to be going over sewing materials. Anything having to do with mending. This is a good item to have in your homestead, in your home. In case you lose a button, make sure you have some extra buttons. In case something rips or tears, be able to mend that item and not have to go out and buy a new one. This is all about being frugal on the homestead and in your life. In this video, you see quite a few things that are pretty old. They're actually from my mother, and she used to be a seamstress in addition to being a registered nurse, but she was a seamstress. You see a simplicity pattern, and you notice the price on that. It's 50 cents. Simplicity patterns at this time, I have priced them 2 years ago, and they were about $12 a piece. Now, you also notice that this looks like a pattern from the early 60s. You could make curtains, you could make pillows, and they were quite labor intensive, but they were gorgeous. And you can still do those today. In fact, Hobby Lobby has some pillows just like you see in this video, the round one, and they're smocked, but they're made out of velvet. And they actually had them on sale, my friend said, 50% off last week. These trends might be coming back. So let's move over to sew-on snaps. Now, it's very difficult to find metal snaps these days. If you're making clothes, children's clothes, even if you're making clothes for your furry friends, you may want snaps. You may want a zipper. But sew-on snaps, and you can see the price is 40 cents for that card. Currently, the price for metal snaps, if you can find metal, they're usually plastic. The metal snaps, what I have found, they're $2.50. Again, these prices that you see are from the early 60s. You see a hot iron transfer pencil. Now, this is where you can actually, they had a special paper you could trace a design, turn it over, and then iron on that design. You could embroider it, you could paint it, you could do whatever you'd like with it. But that was something, again, $1.20. They're about $4 right now, if you can find them. Another important item to have is thread. Different size spools, different colors. I just have two examples here, the black and the purple, or the lavender. These were purchased quite a while ago, about 3 years ago, at Walmart. And I think they were $2.29 for one spool of thread. I don't know what they are now. They might be cheaper, they might be more expensive. In the picture, you also see a little container, and it's labeled pins. That would be when you're putting your pattern down on the material. You need to pin it down. The pattern material is very thin tissue paper. So you pin it down and you cut out your pattern so you can get ready to sew. This is a container that my mother had, and also the pins are from my mother. And this was a previous prescription bottle. In the day, you didn't throw anything away. You kept a lot of things because you may not be able to get these things again. So you kept everything and you used it as it came along. Now, I put the labels on here. She did not have a label maker back then. But I put the labels on here just to make sure that I know exactly what's in there if I'm grabbing things in a hurry. There's also a small container that's that I purchased about 1994. It's with the blue lid. This is miscellaneous things. It could have safety pins, buttons, sequins, jewels, to glue on something, to decorate it. That's just miscellaneous that I put in there. Again, you see a little box, and this is a wardrobe repair kit. These are found in most hotels, and I've always had one of these in my purse, in the car, in my go bag, at the house. It's just enough. It may have a button, it'll have a needle and some thread. It won't have every color of thread. Could have a safety pin in there. Anything to repair, let's say, a lost button or a loose button on the go before you go out the door. You'll also see two different kinds of bias tape. Now, these are cloth. One is a double fold bias tape. It's extra wide. And the other one is a double fold bias tape also. Now, these were used to put on the edge of aprons when they made them. They put it on different items they would make for children. You can put it around a bib if you're making bibs. You'll see a measuring tape at the top. That's just a standard thing that everyone usually has in their sewing kit, in their sewing supplies. The containers that you see that are tan or ivory, they're not white. These were containers that had baby wipes in them. These are from 1983. They're just a plastic container. It had baby wipes in it. When the baby wipes were used up, then you had the container left and you could store things in it. Again, don't throw things away. You can find a use for them, or maybe some of your family members can find a use for them, your friends. But I'll bet sooner or later you'll be able to store things in these containers if you have baby wipe containers now, or medicine bottles. I caution you, go ahead and rinse and sanitize those bottles. And some have child guard caps, some don't. And then maybe you can store some of your sewing supplies in there. Well, neighbors, I am so glad you stopped by this afternoon. It's a gorgeous day today where I am. Cold and windy, but it's very nice, and I'm thankful for that. In the comment section below, tell me what you have in your sewing kit for your homestead or your home. Let me know what you carry with you in your purse, in your go bag, in your car. And let me find out and tell me if there are any additional items that you have that might be of benefit to all of the viewers, so they can learn how to put a sewing kit together. Maybe they don't have one yet. And it would be helpful to find out, maybe they didn't think about putting thread in there. Or maybe they didn't think about putting something that you have in your sewing kit. I appreciate you stopping by, and I hope to see you soon.